Good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Jacki Lentini McCullough, and I am an attorney. I practice immigration law. I moved here, it'll be 2 years in May, with my husband, who's also in the audience. And my area of practice is immigration. So to tell you a little bit about my journey, I'll start with my childhood, but don't worry, it won't be too boring. I won't spend too much time on that. My family is Italian-American. We moved from New York City to Indiana. And in the 70s, that was a huge culture shock. Indiana was a very homogenous place, a lot of redneck kind of trending there. And so we were the people who were the most exotic and different, and I think the lack of diversity there created a vacuum that made it very interesting to me to study other people, languages, and cultures. So that's how I got my start in studying immigration. So I went to law school, and then after law school, I was an associate for quite a while, and many of you know law. The idea is that you work very hard. You usually have billable hours that you have to meet, and sometimes you can feel like a robot where that's all you're doing is working. A moment for me to decide to change that model and flip it on its head was when we decided to have a family. I wanted to have more time to be with my boys. I had twin boys and was on bed rest for a long time with my pregnancy. And so I started my own business. Not that being an owner of a business is any easier than just showing up at a job, but I had the flexibility to do what I wanted, when I wanted. So that was helpful to me. So I started out doing everything out of my home, and this was back in 2010. And then I moved on to outsourcing things when I could, like bookkeeping. That was the first thing that I got rid of because I was very bad at doing the trust accounts and that sort of thing. And then I just grew my business organically in the Chicago suburbs. I worked at home initially. That's where, we had a home office. Then I got an office outside the home. Then I hired a part-time person, 2 part-time people, then 1 full-time person and 1 part-time. Now I'm up to 2 full-time people. So I outsource the things still that are a little bit outside of our expertise in the law, so web development, marketing, and bookkeeping still. That will always be something I don't want to do. I got interested in immigration law from working before law school with F1 and J1 students at 2 large land-grant institutions, so Purdue University and the University of Houston. And I really enjoyed working with the international students. They come to the U.S. and they don't know anything about anything. So how do you get a Social Security number? A lot of them can't drive. They don't have credit history here. They can't get a credit card because they don't have a credit score here yet. So really enjoyed working with them on that human level. And for professional development, I just thought, wow, I can do more as an attorney. So I went to law school. I still enjoy working with the students. I speak to UCCS international students, and locally also I've spoken to the international students at CC. I still speak at many universities and community colleges back in the Chicago area just because I enjoy it and it's a way of giving back. So the kinds of international students and professionals that I'm working with here are usually individuals who are in STEM fields where we have shortages of jobs. And then I don't know if I'll ever know this number, but it'd be really interesting to know how many foreign nationals I've helped get a green card and then stay. Sometimes they want to go through to naturalization as well. Yeah, I am looking for connections in the Springs with employers who may have foreign nationals on staff, whether it be like an IT firm, manufacturers, defense companies. I have talked to students here. I also speak Italian, so I enjoy working with Italian clients. That doesn't happen as much as I'd like. And then I would like to say that my practice focuses on the employment base of immigration. There are about 6 immigration attorneys in the Springs, but my practice out of the ones I've met is the most focused on employment-based immigration. I would say it's about 90%, whereas the others, they may go to immigration court and do deportation, removal, that kind of thing. So different focus. And since we just moved here less than 2 years ago, I'm still trying to understand a new landscape, new culture. Chicago is a big city, different kinds of referral sources, power networks within, all the different fields. So I'm trying to get my name out there here, networking. I joined the chamber, another networking group, Provisors, but I'm looking to 1 Million Cups as a way to get to know entrepreneurs. I love working with entrepreneurs as well. In the immigration space, they are a natural fit with what's called the e-visa. So yeah, I'm just looking for community support from 1 Million Cups, and I appreciate the opportunity from Denise to be able to speak here today. And thank you again. My name's Jackie. Give her a round of applause.